The child scripture states, "In this way I will abandon outer and inner distractions and settle into non-conceptual absorption. As my experience evolves, this will last longer and longer." See that those two sentences are actually very, very powerful and do apply to our approach. Um, just to settle into non-conceptual absorption, right there says it all. And as you sustain that recognition, yeah, exactly, KC, that was what I was picking up on too. Is it's a new way to word it, and so, and it is kind of an absorption, I suppose. I stay away from that word for a few reasons, but when you release into the presence, uh, you're basically going deeper and deeper into jhana, samadhi. So the more you release, kind of fixation on thoughts, emotional clean, sense clean, then what you have is you're in the presence. Can we call that absorbed? I don't. You're always in the presence, whether you settle into it or not. So, but here we also have essentially the backbone of Dzogchen. You have recognition, the nature of mind, and then you sustain that recognition. That is the formula. And as you sustain that recognition, you're also starting to build confidence that self-resolution is taking place. There's self-liberation. And then if you can get to the point where you can actually let thoughts come and go pretty consistently, keeping you in pure presence, then you can really have confidence in self-liberation of thoughts. Mm. So through this, I will never separate from this very point. With this thought, cultivate a sense of certainty and train the mind in the seventh point. Yeah, well, you can scroll up thing. It's a little bit bigger text, so I think we'll have to. And from the conclusion, using non-conceptuality to train the mind is the unsurpassable gateway to the path of concentration. Here I would say unsurpassable gateway to your natural state. The path of concentration to me wouldn't be my preference, although I feel like this is a lot of hard work and great translation. That wouldn't be my preference. But it says here using non-conceptuality, so not only Jigme Lingpa, but we also have many, many texts from Longchenpa and others, even that great one by Dignaga saying how conceptualization is the ultimate non-recognition of awareness. It causes one to fall lower and lower into the ocean of samsara. So really, some primary sources here talking about conceptualization being an issue. Now you can use concepts, but they're talking about using concepts to define your reality. For even on subtle levels, your thoughts can affect reality. So if you have even a subtle kind of dormant concept about something, even awareness, and there's no self-liberation going on because you're not quite in the pocket yet, well, you could get stuck on that concept for quite a long time. And in fact, I feel the mind is so sensitive. That's exactly why, for some Nundro and preliminary practices and all these things, it's just not appropriate. They will get stuck on worshiping external deities and following an external guru. instead of ever finding their internal guru, their own mind, which is the true guru. The sphere of liberation states, drawing in the upper energy brings mastery over appearance. Drawing in the lower energy brings mastery over emptiness. Retaining and stirring the central energy brings an integrated unity. I'm going to leave that alone because that's Salung. It's 8th dhyana, kind of prior to Dzogchen. I think if you practice Dzogchen, use the awareness practice, and then do yoga and Salung and pranayama breath practices, it can be very, very nice. Yeah. So by leaving appearances on the outside and awareness on the inside, with karmic energies acting as the mind stead in between, sentient beings wander in a state of dualistic fixation. In their delusion, they experience the continuous chain of samsara. Using the swift and profound path of the Vajra vehicle, one can learn to control the movement of the karmic energies. These key instructions allow one to recognize innate wisdom in the very direct, powerful way. One need not rely on the inferential concentrations of the lower vehicles, where one must apply reasoning to the web of conceptuality for an extended period of time. Yeah, I can't really comment on other lineages. I know Gelugpas spend a lot of time with reasoning and logic. But in Enigma, at least in Pao Yul, you're getting introduced to the nature of mind from the very beginning. It's just not going to be a one-on-one with your teacher. But they have introduction in Nundro, actually. If we were to pop open a Nundro book right now, it would mention awareness. So Pao Yul does a great job of integrating, and a lot of lineages are like that. But here it's interesting because they're talking about lower vehicle approaches, yet this book so far is filled with lower vehicle stuff. The irony of that. Anyway, these key instructions contain three parts: accessing the non-conceptuality of bliss, emptiness; accessing the non-conceptuality of clarity, emptiness; accessing the non-conceptuality of reality itself. The non-conceptuality of bliss, emptiness. For the first, let's see. Okay, see, we don't make those three distinctions in here. Yeah. Uh, can you scroll back up for a second, a little bit to the three? Okay, so if you rest in non-conceptual open awareness, and your cycles start to kind of exhaust themselves from that release of tension on your nervous system and from the altruistic kind of abiding, you're going to start feeling bliss. Also, for those of you that mostly preserve your sexual fluids, this can, I think, cause internal bliss a lot easier for the whole body if that fluid circulates back into the body. So bliss kind of comes from, and you're introduced to clarity, and clarity is empty, but you don't know that right away. You say, "Oh, I recognize clarity." Clarity can go hand in hand with awareness, okay? And so you're introduced to clarity, and through that you get more used to clarity, and then emptiness and bliss start to really unfold into that, which is the non-conceptuality of reality. But I would say the third one there, my guess, I've never taken this Jigme Lingpa approach As far as I know, we don't even have it this approach in our lineage, which makes it totally interesting, actually. But as far as I know, the non-conceptuality of reality itself would be a kind of Buddhahood, almost kind of at the end type of thing. But let's see, let's find out. So, for the first, seat yourself in the 7 point meditation posture and visualize the central channel running straight up and down the interior of your body, which should be clear and empty, like the interior of an inflated balloon. This channel has four qualities. It is straight as the trunk of a plantation tree, or plantain tree, excuse me, as delicate as the petal of a lotus, as blue as a cloudless sky, and as radiant as the flame of an oil lamp. So three qualities there to the central channel. It's blue, it's delicate, and it's radiant. Huh? Oh, four qualities. Excuse me. I'm always simplifying, aren't I? Which one did I miss? Straight. Yeah. So it's straight, delicate, blue, radiating channel. Nadi, right? So as you meditate on this channel, visualize a white hum syllable. Oh, that's where we might have remember last time we saw the ham in the text. It might have been a hum, actually. So visualize a white hum syllable at its opening on the crown of your head, at its lower opening below your navel. Visualize a red ah syllable. While practicing the four applications, press the upper energy down and draw the lower energy up. Okay, so if you want to read this yourself, you can. This is digital, but this is without explanation. I don't feel that we should really go into this. This is using visualizations. Okay, so let's skip to the next one. If you don't know how to use visualizations, I encourage you to read that. It's not that long. So the non-conceptuality of clarity and emptiness. To train the mind in non-conceptual clarity emptiness, you first need to draw out the poisonous elemental energies by expelling the stale breath 3 or 9 times. So those of you, we've gone over 9 round breathing in here. We also do the lower base breathing, which is what they're referring to here. Okay. So next, as you inhale, imagine that all solid external appearances melt into shimmering light and merge into clear blue space, which then fills your entire body. Finally, press the upper energies firmly down, draw the lower energies slightly upward, and join the two together. This meditation will generate an experience of clarity, emptiness. Right. So, according to the glorious one from Samye Longchenpa, a vital point of this practice is to meditate that the energies are hot if a cold sensation is dominant, and cold or cool, excuse me, if a hot sensation is more intense. Okay, hold on, guys. It's been pretty hot today. I'm gonna do this cool one. Now that I think about it, right? Cool down a little bit. Yeah, we were introduced to a few of these heating and cooling practices in Talung. They're very interesting. Those who are fond of more elaborate forms of practice may wish to meditate on the energies of each individual element as outlined in the child scripture, the lamp that clarifies wisdom. However, the essential commentary on mind training from the Guru's quintessence explains quintessence, right? The energy of space, however, is good to practice at all times. Okay, at all times. And as physical sensations are included in these two, hot and cold, this is sufficient for practice. This form of vase breathing is the source of all good qualities. The Jewel Rosary of Advice states, since the central channel is supreme, these perceptible experiences are not revealed. Wait, perceptible but not revealed. Okay. Yet again, without exhaling, inhale and hold the breath. This will cause the energies to pass through the right and left channels into the lower aperture of the central channel, which looks like the lower half of the Tibetan letter. Well, I cannot even see that. It looks like a cat. I don't know, guys. Sorry. The central channel, which looks like the lower. Let's see here if I can figure it out by the previous statement. Could be ah. Yeah. Anyway, so this is really going into Tsalung. We would call it Tsalung or maybe Quarter-Rushan preliminary energy practices associated with Dzogchen, but I'm gonna say it not Dzogchen proper. I'm sorry. It's just yeah, kind of a provisional practice. It gets you ready. But if awareness can get you ready, then why do all this? That's maybe my controversial take on it, that you can be introduced to awareness right away. And then if you want to do all this stuff, great. But you're the
One of
captain
the
at the end,
5 major
okay?
major
So don't let me interfere with your trajectory there. Qualities of second level will rise once the mind energizes. In a short time, penetrating the vital points of the vase breath. Yeah, I encourage you to read that if you want to do some breathing exercises. Okay, let's see if we get into some Dzogchen on this last part. To train the mind in the non-conceptuality of reality itself. Hopefully, we don't find any fallacies in the non-conceptuality of reality. Relax the body and mind from deep within. Keep your gaze fixed. This will allow you to remain in a state free from all the comings and goings of thought activity. Without making any deliberate effort to restrain the breath, fill the navel area with central energy. This is the extremely profound key instruction. Okay, I think they're talking about the vase breathing that we do in here, okay? So the Jewel Rosary of Advice states, listen, Togya. Oh, apparently it's Tayeshi Tokyo. Must be Guru Rinpoche talking. So listen, Togya. With your body in a cross-legged posture, slightly inhale the lower energy, press the upper energy slightly down, and feel, okay, we're going to skip this. It's more energy and visualization stuff. I encourage you to read it if you're interested. But wait. Wait, okay, all right. See, it says here, keeping it. You meditate on the Yidam deity. Yeah, this is Outer Tantra generation stage stuff. So, next, as this passage shows, not only is the central energy relevant in the context of training the mind, it is also a wonderfully supportive factor for each and every step along the path to enlightenment. This is a very important point to remember. Okay, if you're practicing the 7 points in this approach, and if you resonate with this approach, it has a lot of tantric stuff mixed in, then I would say go for it. Once you have trained your mind in these 3 forms of non-conceptuality, which I personally would not label that non-conceptuality at all. There's so much conceptuality involved in those 3 that we just read over. I cannot honestly label that and tell you guys that that was non-conceptual. Right? Non-conceptual means I'm sitting here not doing anything. I'm not trying to fix my energies. My energies are working themselves out without me doing anything. Otherwise, that's why you feel so open and blissful in Dzogchen. Anyway, once you, okay, now I'm going. Yeah, it says consciousness will stay fixed wherever it is directed. Yes, that comes with Dzogchen for sure. And you will be able to rest for longer and longer periods in a non-conceptual state like space. The extent to which this occurs will be the measure of your proficiency, or possibly the teachings that you receive. Okay, I think, there's a little conclusion here. Do not allow these 7 forms of training the mind to turn into mere platitudes or words left on the pages of a book. Okay, keep scrolling. We we're probably not going to practice the 7, so okay. All right, we can end there. This book is actually a little bit too filled with preliminary stuff for me. But I'll continue to browse through it and see if I could just find some more pure Dzogchen. Wait a minute. Okay, it says, and strike the nail of unchanging self-awareness. Let's see what, go back up to the beginning of that one. We won't read it now, but I'll probably maybe read this part. Wait. As stated in the Great Perfection Tantras. Okay, we've been reading those. All right, we can end there. Like I told you all, I just wanted to go into this book a little bit and see what it was all about. Um, for me, you would have to get a teacher that is approaching Dzogchen with these 7 points, which I personally don't know of any, but they're probably out there for sure. Maybe what we can pull out of this is that there's a lot of stuff mixed into Dzogchen a lot of times, and a lot of times they don't even know that they're mixing it. They think that's Dzogchen.